This is my life in pictures. Before I was born, there was my dad and another lady. She got pregnant and had a baby. That's my brother, Simon. Then there was my dad, and he met my mum. And with a little bit of love, she got pregnant. And they had a baby. On the 5th of February 1991. I don't know why I attempted to draw a pram. It didn't add anything to the story, but nonetheless. So then I did baby things for a few years, like riding bikes and shaking rattles. Whilst I was doing all of that baby stuff, my mum couldn't seem to decide where she wanted to live, and so we moved in a truck. And in many other ways, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, I don't really know how many times. Until finally we settled down in a house on the Gold Coast, Australia. Everything was grand. And I started school. What kind of hair is that? Oh, and what is this? Oh, before I started school, my mom met my sister's dad, and I got a little sister. I was not happy. So this is the bit where I started school. So for a while I did normal kid stuff. And I went on a plane. What happened here? This is not the right order. I went on a plane to Sydney. Okay. Perhaps I forgot to draw the school. Anyway, in Sydney I was on a boat. That's what that picture was. And so this is a picture of a city. And this was meant to be a farm because we moved from the city of the Gold Coast to a farm. Great horse, good job, well done. So I was a city kid in the country. And then I got a little bit older and I became a moody teenager. I was depressed and I didn't feel like I fitted in anywhere. So I got a bit older again and I got on a plane and I went to Japan. And I lived there for a whole year. Yeah, that's a drawing of Japan. Just so you understand what I mean. And while I was there, I met a lot of people. Lots of good people. That's a thumbs up. That's also a thumbs up. And meeting those people was great, but meeting this person was especially great. That's Noemi. She's going to be my friend forever, I'm sure of it. So then I got on a plane and I came back to Australia yet again. I lived on the Gold Coast and I went to school. I worked at a bunch of different places in casual jobs until eventually I found myself working at Pizza Hut. And I finished school. And I decided right here that this was supposed to represent law and it didn't work, so I tried again and did some scales, but I forgot that the scales are supposed to be equal to indicate justice, but perhaps it's a subconscious cue. Moving on. Anyhow, I met this guy and I traveled a little more, went to Japan, and then I went to China, and I went to France. Yeah, flag, that's a better idea than drawing the country. So then in the year, I got pregnant. I turned 21. Got married, and then I drew some stuff that you couldn't really see on the page. And then we had a baby. And it was an interesting time. There was happy times and sad times, and the baby cried a lot. But I was very depressed, suffering with postnatal depression. Whilst I was still suffering, we had another baby, not planned, and the depression got out of hand. It was difficult times. Eventually we moved to Sydney. And I became a single mum. I worked an office job for a while, and then I didn't like it, so I went back to study. And here we are.